CoastTV News.
Some seriously cold conditions and bottoming out with wind chill factor and Arctic air. All of that is going to make for a very cold mess for the next 2 to 3 days in a row.
I'll give you a live look at the roads as we deal with cold temperatures and icy conditions.
Transition begins at noon. We're getting you ready for Donald Trump's return to the White House with the inauguration of the 47th president.
There he goes! Barkley gonna ring the bell again! Touchdown, Philadelphia! Sensational Saquon, the big game by number 26 that sends the Eagles to the NFC Championship game. This is CoastTV News Today. And we continue with our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. It's Monday, January 20th, 2025.
Yeah, we apologize for some of those technical issues that we experienced, but Paige, we're back up and running.
Yes, we are running into a lot of news today. We have a presidential inauguration. We have MLK Day. We have football news. What else do we have?
Well, we're so excited to have our chief meteorologist, Paula. He decided to hang out with us this morning. Yes. Always a thrill to have Paula here with us.
And he's still running. I'll run with you. Yeah. Hey there, Paul.
That's what we're doing right now. So let's go with it right now. We are up and we are up and running. This is what up and running looks like if you ever wondered. This is up and running. And you know what else is up and running? The cold. I mean, take a look at the wind chills right now. It feels like 16 degrees right now in Rehoboth, as well as Bethany Beach. 17 is what it feels like right now in Milton. 18, the wind chill currently Ocean City, and we're at 17 right now in Salisbury. Listen, for today's checklist, bottom line is snow shovel, not necessarily, but ice scraper, yeah. Hat and gloves, for sure. Drive with caution because we're going to see some slick spots because it's going to be so cold. If there's any kind of moisture on the ground, it's freezing immediately. A warm beverage, not a bad idea. And believe it or not, sunglasses because we're going to enjoy bright sunshine. Now, it won't feel good, but it'll be bright sunshine. But cold is the operative word for today. We are currently looking relatively clear for right now. We've got a couple of troughs that are going to be kind of floating meander in our general direction. We may even see a flurry or two developing Tuesday night going to Wednesday. But overall, the big story is still the cold and the Arctic air that's going to sweep down on top of us coming out of portions of Canada and southern Canada, and that's going to be our biggest concern. We have cold weather advisories that are active for the entire viewing area. That, along with concerns with freezing spray advisory that's also in effect. So we're watching out for whatever is happening near a lot of the bridges. What moisture hits is going to freeze over very quickly, causing a coat of ice to develop. Now, we'll have more on your full forecast coming up in a moment. But until then, we're going to toss it back to you guys as well.
Thank you, Paul. Now, we've had the big temperature swing over the past 24 hours with the warmer temperatures over the weekend. It did cause snow to melt. And now the concern here is everything that melted, it's starting to freeze over.
And CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber is live right now in our First Alert Weather Jeep. Elisa, you've been keeping us updated. So how are the conditions right now on Coastal Highway?
Good morning, Matt and Paige. Yes, I know this weekend those temperatures being in the 40s. It felt like it was springtime, and then we woke up this morning and we saw it was sub 20 degrees. We're like, all right, we're back to winter time, back to reality of it being January. But right now we are headed towards Lewis on Coastal Highway, and so far so good in terms of road conditions. We are seeing a little bit of that white coating on top of the roads, which could be from that dusting we experienced last night. Again, a lot of snow melted this weekend and then froze overnight and this morning. So you want to drive with caution and drive slowly. We're still seeing some of that black ice, more so on sidewalks and parking lots than the actual road, which is good. But if you are walking, that means you want to be extra careful. But hopefully because of the holiday, a lot of people don't have to go to work or school today, so it could be less people on the roads as a precaution. But as you can see right now, there are a lot of people out this morning, but just driving slowly and carefully is the best way to go about it. And we just drove through Dewey Beach, which is also looking like in very good condition. So you just want to be cautious and careful. But the good thing is that last night, it's not as severe as we thought it possibly would have been this morning. Back to you.
All right, Elisa, thank you so much. We're going from the live conditions on our roads to a live look at our Capitol in D.C. It's there at noon. Inside that building, Donald J. Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. And new this morning, we're just hours away from the nation's 60th presidential inauguration. For the first time in nearly 40 years, however, this will be taking place inside because of the cold weather.
Yes, NBC's Alice Barr shows us the weekend was filled with inaugural parties, commemorations, and even a political rally.
Today, the nation's 45th president becomes the 47th in an inauguration day as unusual as President-elect Trump's path back to the White House.
My administration will take immediate and decisive action to confront every single problem America faces.
Only the second American president to win non-consecutive terms, he'll be sworn in inside the U.S. Capitol over concerns frigid cold temperatures would be dangerous for the hundreds of thousands of people who were expected on the National Mall. 20,000 will now watch on big screens in downtown D.C.'s Capital One Arena.
We won!
Where the president-elect rallied supporters on Sunday and plans to rejoin them after he's sworn in.
The curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline. We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. And we are going to make America great again.
He also made a solemn visit to Arlington National Cemetery after a phone interview with NBC News outlining his day one plans on everything from saving TikTok to mass deportations of migrants, saying, quote, "We're going to start with the criminal element," and planning pardons for January 6 defendants, a stark reminder of how his last term in office ended, a second impeachment, 4 criminal cases with 1 trial ending in conviction, 2 attempted assassinations, and a resounding election victory later. President-elect Trump and the nation now preparing for his historic return to power. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We're just hours from the end of Joe Biden's term as president and the end of his political career. And here's what the day looks like for the first ever Delawarean elected president. Biden and First Lady Jill will be hosting a tea for Trump and soon-to-be First Lady again, Melania, shortly after Trump is sworn in. The Bidens will bid farewell in a ceremonial departure for their short trip to Joint Base Andrews. And then from there, no trip to Delaware, as some of us maybe thought. The Bidens instead are going to head to California.
New this morning, check out some of these pictures here. First responders helped get this car down from that electric pole. According to the Georgetown Fire Company, this crash happened around 11 p.m. on Saturday at the intersection of Zoar Road and Governor Stockley Road. Fire Company says Delaware Cooperative helped in making sure everything was de-energized before crews could safely remove that car.
Officials will also continue to investigate after Georgetown EMS responded to a single car crash early Sunday. This was at Gravel Hill and Shingle Point Road. Crews say this was the scene when they got there. Milton Fire Department saying one person was trapped inside the vehicle. Once they were taken out of that car, they were transported to the Bay Health Sussex campus for treatment.
Weather outside on Sunday, frightful. If you were a Los Angeles Rams defensive player, the Eagles' Saquon Barkley, downright scary. 205 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. The Eagles hang on for a 28-22 win, and for the second time in 3 years, will play in the NFC Championship game. We'll have more on the Eagles' win and also the Ravens' heartbreaking loss later on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, but for right now, we are just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Now, coming up, Festival Fires Up. We'll tell you how organizers are preparing for the Fire and Ice Festival along the coast.
Also ahead, winter car care, what one expert says about how to keep your car on the road and out of the repair shop for the winter.
But first, today, the nation honors Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We'll tell you about an event right here on Delmarva that will serve the community on this day of service. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Know the difference between a manufactured and a stick-built home can lead to major repairs in the future. At Delaware Mobile Home Repair, we work exclusively with manufactured homes. So whether you need your bathroom remodeled, new roofing, siding, or any other restoration or renovation on your mobile home, the team at Delaware Mobile Home Repair will get the job done right. Visit our website today and start your free estimate with Delaware Mobile Home Repair.
DSN Plus is more energy, extra live games and on-demand replays, anytime, anywhere. DSN Plus is more hype. From playoff matchups in unified football to marching band showcases, we highlight what makes Delmarva unique. DSN Plus is more hometown pride. We go wherever our teams go, with up to 5 live games every weeknight. DSN is still free on air and cable, but get even more with DSN Plus, just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app store today.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
At Delaware Electric Cooperative, safety is our top priority, and we need your help to keep employees safe. When you see our team working along area roadways, please slow down and move over. Delaware law requires drivers to reduce speed and move over when approaching working utility vehicles. If you can't move into other lanes, drive at least 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. Do your part to make sure our crews go home safe to their families every day. Slow down. Move over. It's the law.
Want to update you on all the advisories that are active right now because it is just that cold. We have a cold weather advisory that's in effect for all of Sussex until Wednesday. Now, what this means, in case you were wondering, this means that we're looking for the wind chill to fall to 5 degrees or below that. That's when we have a cold weather advisory. There's a watch and warning is a possibility there as well, but that's what we have an advisory right now. Another advisory we have is a freezing spray advisory. So this is actually for folks when you're traveling over bridges and some of the roads that are next to the waterways, that whatever water splashes up, it's going to freeze immediately. So we're concerned about a coating of ice on the fairways that are near any kind of water or bridge area or anything like that. So that's what this is about. And so I want you to be very mindful of that. And finally, here's a look at our expectation. Listen, look at the pink numbers more than the blue numbers, because that's what it's going to feel like for today and going into tomorrow.
Thank you, Paul. Today we honor civil rights activist, minister, Nobel Peace Prize recipient, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. MLK Day is intended as a day of service and a time to empower individuals and strengthen communities. A monument honoring King and his message was dedicated in Washington, D.C. in 2011. It's the first on the National Mall to honor an African-American person. On its face is a collection of 14 memorable quotes from King. There's also an inscription that reads, "Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope." That served as the basis for the monument's design.
And happening today, the Food Bank of Delaware in Milford's holding a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. event. At 10:30 this morning, volunteers will work to help pack meal kits. More than 8,000 children will receive these meal kits each week. These kits are given out to more than 180 schools, child cares, and preschools every week.
Still ahead, Winter Car Care will tell you how to keep your car rolling as snow and ice wreak havoc on the roads.
And the storyline for the weather today, cold Arctic, feeling like the teens for today. And then for Tuesday and Wednesday, sub-zero wind chills, snow chance possibly for us on Tuesday night. We'll talk more about that temperature drop in a moment.
He said.
Capture your favorite moments at the CoastTV photo booth. Strike a pose and snap a pic, all for free. View previous pictures and see the next event at coasttv.com under the Features tab. The CoastTV photo booth, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
It all started with a food truck and a dream of bringing excellent street food to our community. That dream became Tiki Jack's as we know it today. From mouth-watering street tacos to our signature sandwiches and street-inspired entrees, Tiki Jack's is the ultimate destination for comfort food by the shore. Whether you're dining out with family or looking for a fun night out with friends, stop by Tiki Jack's of Rehoboth Beach today for all your street eats and brews.
Welcome to Kelly's Outdoors, your local outdoor superstore in Millsboro. We carry everything you need this hunting season, from waterfowling gear to deer hunting essentials, bows, tree stands, ammo, and apparel from brands like Drake and Nomad. We also have a wide selection of saltwater and freshwater fishing gear and crabbing supplies for your next day on the water. Kelly's Outdoors now has a wide supply of guns, pistols, and rifles from Rattay, Browning, Winchester, Savage, Beretta, Sig, Springfield, and Smith & Wesson. Before your next outdoor adventure, visit Kelly's Outdoors in Millsboro today.
Get the CoastTV First Alert weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app, sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Approaching 6:20 on this Monday morning, and we have a scene here in Ocean View. Paul is in for Bob, and Paul, you picked a pretty cold day to join us here.
Well, you know, the bottom line is everybody loves Bob, and so Bob just needed a day off, and so we decided to hook him up, you know. Nobody told him it was going to be this cold. He knew already, though, to be quite honest. Take a look, really. Our casual furniture view in Laurel, we're holding at about 24 degrees. And the winds are right now pushing out of the north, but staying relatively calm. Listen, we're going to talk about the possibility of a little flurry here or there, but that's really not what you need to be most concerned about. Be concerned about the cold that is on the way. For example, take a look. Temperatures right now, we're at 24 in Bethany Beach, 24 Ocean City, 21 Georgetown, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels a lot cooler than that. I mean, we're in the 20s. We're at 22 in Milton, 20 in Seaford, for example, but it feels like the teens right now and single digits in some places. Just the slightest breeze is enough to kind of just take you off that plateau of thinking you're feeling warm. No, that's not happening. We see thick cloud cover, not an issue for us, and a lot of the white that you see is actually snow that's still on the ground, quite frankly, and so that's being reflected back up. Here's a decent look at what we're expecting throughout the day. I mean, we're looking at today and tomorrow. These are going to be very similar days. I mean, we're looking for the teens and single digits. So this is why we're actually under a cold weather advisory, so to speak. Our ferry riding forecast, we're looking at temperatures staying right here in the 20s, and we're not looking at much of a change here because this is going to be the kind of cold that's going to be, the kind of cold that's going to provide a bit of a problem for us because it's not going to back down anytime soon. When you take a look at what it feels like, for example, overall, let's take a look at what we're going to deal with as far as what it feels like. For example, this afternoon, we're looking at, for example, in the teens, what's going to feel like 17 by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This is about as warm as it's going to feel throughout the day. Tuesday morning, we're going to drop down to 2 in Long Neck, 3 in Rehoboth, Dewey Beach, Lewis. It's going to feel like 5 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. In Seaford, it's going to feel like 4 degrees, Del Mar, and it's going to feel like 2 in Berlin, Ocean City, and Selbyville, Fenwick Island. Then for Wednesday, pretty much the same situation, but even worse for the folks in Seaford. It's going to feel like 1 degree there, 2 in Georgetown, Ellendale, 2 in Millsboro, 7 along the coast. So that's the kind of cold that we're going to be wrestling with. Now, that's because we have frigid air that's in place, courtesy of the high pressure system that's going to continue to keep the thermometer shaking and shivering. You know it's cold when the thermometer is shaking and shivering. I'm just saying. Now, and on a bit of a more serious note, now, we are going to be concerned about the frostbite risk, okay? That's going to be a moderate to high risk for us Tuesday going to Wednesday. Particularly Wednesday, we're going to be at a high level or high chance of frostbite. That means if your skin is exposed to the elements for more than 30 minutes, you really could actually have frostbite. And do not come in from outside and put your hand under warm or hot water. You will cause possible first and even second degree burns are possible. So be mindful of that. All right, so we go into Tuesday. We're looking for cloud cover to thicken up for us just a little bit. Then we may see a random sprinkle that'll try to push through. That's really Tuesday night going into Wednesday. And that's if this low pressure system swings anywhere close to us to give us that opportunity. But the latest run of the models indicating it's looking like it's going to swing too far away from us to be a primary concern. This afternoon, we're looking for temperatures in the 20s. Tonight, we drop down to 12, mostly clear and cold all over again. And then for Tuesday, we could see some scattered showers, but mainly we're talking about the rain. The cold. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. Look, folks, I'm not used to being up this early in the morning. Cut me some slack, okay? Anyway, we're looking at 23 for Tuesday, 21 on Wednesday, but just cold across the board till we get to the weekend.
Paul, this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your biggest winter worry?
Ooh, okay. We've got a couple options for you here. 58% of you, biggest worry is the icy roads. 30% of you, your high heating bills. few of you chiming in with frozen pipes and frostbite risk. That was something that Paul was just talking about. So do you want to share your biggest worry?
I'm going to go with that high heating bill.
High heating bill. That's a good one, too. That's never fun. You know it's coming, but it's always a little bit of a shock, yeah. Icy roads, of course. Elisa said that they look okay today, but still be careful. And if you haven't voted on our poll just yet, you can go to CoastTV.com or you can vote on our app.
These icy conditions that we've been talking about, they can do some harm to your car. We've been talking also about winterizing your home, but how about winterizing your car? We got some tips to tell you about. We looked at some of the best demonstrated practices. Meineke store manager John Repass says taking care of your car, that is a big part of staying safe on the roads.
Realistically, I think the most important part of staying safe during these cold winter seasons is doing your regularly scheduled maintenance here at Lewis Meineke and Milford Meineke.
And auto shops like that Meineke offer inspections during routine maintenance. This will help you find the best way to take care of your car.
Still more to come this morning on Coast TV News Today. Festival fires up. We'll tell you about the first events to kick off the Fire and Ice Festival on Delmarva. Don't go anywhere.
We're Delmarva proud.
When love is in the air,
oh, Jesus!
HR
Mutual consent form
is always there.
I didn't know you were seeing somebody.
Choice. Oh. It's in there, and you're not allowed to grab it because that's my private area.
St. Dennis Medical, new Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
That is an insane amount of money.
It's all mine.
No.
Go!
The banker's gonna play the baddest mother on this island.
Such a shady little... I could totally destroy him.
Deal or No Deal Island, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Gamey Elliott in Salisbury today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to the Brush Factory. Explore our over 60 local merchants and artists all together under one roof. You just never know what you'll find at the Brush Factory on Kings. Thank you for supporting our local family of merchants.
We couldn't do it without you.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by Coast TV.
Delmarva, we're still dealing with the bird flu here. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources is now adding $30,000 in funding for quicker removal of those infected birds. In recent tests, Worcester and Dorchester County birds tested positive.
In Lewis, construction is set to begin again this week at Canal Front Park after it began shortly in October. The city said because of manufacturing and shipping delays, they had to halt the process. The city also says safety servicing will be installed in mid to late March.
Delaware Governor Bethany Hall Long has ordered a new reuse study for the former Troop 7 site off of Route 1 in Lewis. The 7-acre property served the community for decades before being vacated in 2019 and then later demolished. Hall Long emphasized the need to address growing demands for social and behavioral health services in eastern Sussex County. The study will include public input and explore options like new social services.
The Fire and Ice Festival in the Bethany area begins in 2 weeks, but one main event kicked off the weekend. The drink competition took place at Mango's. Local restaurants created custom cocktails, all of them book-themed, and they'll be available during Fire and Ice weekend. Coast TV's Madeline Overturf was one of the judges, and that festival will take place January 31st through February 2nd.
That is a fun time. Looking forward to that. Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is back with us. Big time cold conditions, big time along the coast today, Paul.
Yeah, I'm trying to get adjusted to these shots here. Here we are. Yes, cold indeed. And we have a chance for a little bit of rain. By the way, our umbrella winner Catherine Doyle of Milton. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. All right, so we're currently in Salisbury at 24 degrees. Wind at 5 miles per hour. Just the slightest breeze will drop us into the teens very quickly. It's going to be that kind of a day. We'll see increasing cloud cover by the time we get into midday, but still cold nonetheless. I mean, no matter how you slice it. So for the next 12 hours or so, I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Temperatures in the 20s, but look at the winds picking up momentum, 14 to 15 mile per hour winds by the time we get into the lunchtime hours. So even though the thermometer will be going up, the wind chill factor will still stay the same or start dipping a little bit. We'll have more on your full forecast coming up in a moment. Matt?
Coming up, inaugural events will tell you plans for the Delaware governor-elect now that the ceremony has been moved indoors.
And Trump touts his victory today, less than 7 hours to go until his inauguration. We're going to show you how Trump prepared over the weekend. We'll be right back.
To Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
Turn your dreams of a perfect kitchen into reality with That Cabinet Store, where a dedicated team of designers will bring your vision to life. Whether it's traditional or European, kitchen design is our specialty. And we can get your fully customized kitchen cabinets installed in as little as 4 weeks, semi-custom in 10 days. And if you're looking for new countertops, we offer quality in-house fabricated countertops. Dream today, designs for tomorrow at That Cabinet Store, located with Matt the Carpet Guy in Selbyville and Salisbury.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Now on CoastTV News.
We have some teeth chattering cold that's on the way. You're going to need to bundle up for the next few days in a row.
I'll give you a live look at the road conditions as we deal with cold temperatures and icy conditions.
Weather reaction after a big snowstorm to start the month, how Ocean City is now dealing with the latest round of winter conditions.
Oh, you're going to have a lot of fun watching television.
Trump's return as we get ready for the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States.
This is CoastTV News Today.
January 20th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
Time is 6:32. Cold here, and I know for some that we're looking to make that trip across the bay for the inauguration. Well, maybe a change in plans since a lot of those events, I think all the events are taking place inside.
Yeah, kind of all fell just at once yesterday over the bridge. I was in that area driving back this way, kind of doing the opposite direction. And I mean, as soon as I got to the Bay Bridge, we were good. But man, it came. I was going to say it came out of nowhere, but the weather people warned us.
Yeah.
So, I should have known.
We have one of those weather people, type people here with us.
We do. Well, Paul won't let me call him a scientist, even though I think he is.
He's a chief.
He's just a weather people person, right, Paul?
Well, if I type it the wrong way, I go from chief to chef. So, I mean, take your pick, right? Either way, we're serving up all the vegan food you could ever want. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so overall, we're dealing with that cold. In fact, it's so cold that they had to pull all the festivities inside for the inaugural celebration. But we're feeling that cold even as we speak right now. Take a look at where we stand at this moment. I mean, 22 degrees right now in Milton, 20 currently in Redden as well as Seaford, and we're looking at 23 in Delmar. That's the actual temperature. It feels like the teens already, and the winds have yet to start whipping around. It feels like 17 degrees in Milton right now, and in Salisbury. It feels like 18 degrees right now in Bethany Beach. 23 is what it feels like in Rehoboth. Now, we actually have cold weather advisories in effect for our entire area, so that's just how serious the cold is going to be. And also, coming up in our next weather segment, we'll be talking about the threat of frostbite in some cases, because that's just how low we're going to end up going. Paige?
Now, as Paul mentioned, it is bitter cold outside, but over the weekend we experienced temperatures closer to the 40s, causing a lot of that snow we've been having to melt. So now the concern is everything that melted now is freezing over.
Yeah, Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in our first alert weather Jeep. We've been checking in with her all morning in the road so far. Elisa, looking pretty good.
Good morning, Matt and Paige. Yes, I was happy to experience 40 degrees over the weekend and see all that snow start to melt, but last night and then this morning, it's super cold outside, and right now we're looking on the roads, and the major concern when everything melts and then it freezes back up is ice on the roads. But actually, we're not seeing any terrible conditions on Coastal Highway. We're now headed north towards Milton. The only times we are seeing some black ice are in parking lots or on the sides of the road by sidewalks. So if you are walking, be careful. Obviously, when you are driving, always be cautious and careful, especially when the sun is not out yet. It's sometimes difficult to have good visibility in certain areas, especially back roads. Coastal Highway, fortunately, is well lit up. And again, we're seeing a little bit of that white coating on the roads from that possible dusting we experienced last night. But in terms of anything being slippery on Coastal Highway, we have not encountered anything like that. As always, be cautious and careful. Back to you two.
Lisa Weber, thank you for that. Now, what was expected to be snow actually turned into rain in Ocean City.
And Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us people's reaction there to the weather over the weekend.
After 2 different snowstorms in Ocean City, this one luckily turned to just rain. Something Linda Klein was glad to see.
I like the rain better than the snow.
Over the past month, Delmarva has been hit hard with snow, and Ocean City was no exception. From salt being laid out on the roads, to people clearing their cars, and families enjoying the snow. But now people hope that time has passed. We talked to people along the Ocean City boardwalk who told Coast TV that they're glad the snow turned into rain, with one even saying the snow hurt her business big time. Linda Klein runs a doggy-style store on the Ocean City boardwalk. And although the store is open in the off-season, Klein said the snow and ice made it difficult for people to come in.
In the rain, people still come out. In the snow, they don't. They didn't clear the boardwalk or the inlet village, so it was dangerous for people to be out in the snow.
Klein hopes no more snow falls in town and is looking forward to the warmer days ahead.
I'm done with the snow. I'm ready for spring.
Although no snow is projected for next week, be sure to bundle up and stay warm when going outside. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Now taking a live look at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. at noon. Donald J. Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. This was moved inside that building out of concern for some of the bitter cold conditions.
Yeah, it was last night the festivities in Washington, D.C. ramped up. Trump held a rally enjoying a so-called victory lap before he takes the oath of office for a second time. Trump delivered his first on-camera reaction to the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. He also pledged to make good on his campaign promises, including mass deportation.
We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home.
And while Donald Trump is about to begin a second term as president, Joe Biden making news in the final days of his presidency.
Yeah, he issued a large number of pardons, some considered controversial.
The latest one, or one of his last actions, Biden pardons posthumously Marcus Gray, a black nationalist in the 1920s who was convicted of mail fraud.
He commuted the sentence of Robin Peoples, currently serving a 111-year sentence for crimes committed in the late 1990s. Court records show Peoples was convicted of bank robbery and other associated offenses.
The one that got the most attention, that was Biden going back on his word by pardoning his son Hunter of federal gun and tax evasion convictions.
And then another controversial one, Biden commuted the 17-year prison sentence of Michael Conahan, a judge who helped orchestrate one of the worst judicial scandals in U.S. history, a scheme to send children to for-profit jails. All right, well, don't forget, you can tune in to the inauguration in just a few hours. Tune in to NBC's coverage of the presidential inauguration right here on Coast TV. You don't want to miss it. That coverage will begin shortly at 10 a.m.
On Tuesday, Matt Meyer will be sworn in as Delaware's 76th governor, and those events also have been moved indoors due to the cold conditions. On your screen, we have some of the events for the inauguration. Meyer will be sworn in Tuesday morning at Legislative Hall in Dover, and then later that night, he will appear at the inaugural ball at 7 p.m. This is in Wilmington at the Grand Opera House. Got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead, we're talking TikTok services. They're surviving a temporary ban. How the future is still uncertain, though, for the social media platform.
Also, run, Eagle, run. Saquon Barkley helped send the Eagles to another NFC championship game.
And today, the nation's honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We're going to tell you just how impactful his I Have a Dream speech still is in America. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
It's been a tough year, but we couldn't be more thankful.
Yeah, with your help, we've raised more than $350,000 for Bless Our Children.
Hey everyone, Elisa Titus here, Director of Marketing for Shell Brothers. We'd like to thank all the businesses, individuals, groups, and associations who donated $1,000 or more to the Bless Our Children campaign this Christmas. It means so much to our local community.
Your generosity allowed us to give holiday funds to local charitable organizations on Delmarva. You can feel proud that you helped make the season brighter for many local families on the peninsula.
On behalf of WBOC, Coast TV, DSN, and Shell Brothers, a heartfelt thank you to you all. Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation.
Coaches make a difference for their athletes and communities, and we want to honor them.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and donate $500 to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an additional donation to their program.
The coach can be from any sport at any level up to and including high school.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
Delmarva Sports Network's Coach Who Makes a Difference. Sponsored by Preston Automotive Group.
Taylor Swift, she is just at the peak of all her powers right now.
How has she been able to change the game with her fan base, with her music? That's a Taylor Swift effect.
The Swift Effect, Episode 1, Breaking the Mold. Saturday, January 25th at noon on Coast TV. Sponsored locally on Coast TV by Pohanka Kia. Shop online at pohankakiamd.com.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's Coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coastwide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health.
So we take a look at our total checklist for right now. We're looking at, listen, you don't need your snow shovel for today. However, it's a good idea to have your ice scraper handy and hats and gloves. That's going to be a prerequisite for today. Drive with caution. Listen, that black ice is a serious concern for today because whatever melting we had over the weekend, it's causing some slick spots and it's freezing over right now as we speak. A warm beverage, good idea. Believe it or not, sunglasses, because it's going to be that kind of brightness outside. Here's a look at the temperature trend we're expecting for the next few days. Listen, Tuesday and Wednesday, Mother Nature is not cutting us any kind of slack whatsoever. It's going to be that kind of cold. We'll have more on your full forecast coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Paige.
I have a dream today.
Today, we're honoring civil rights activist, minister, and Nobel Peace Prize recipient Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. King delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963. It became a big moment in the civil rights movement in the United States. The speech clearly captured the struggle for freedom and equality faced by African Americans in the country, at the same time conveying King's infectious hope for the future. We'll have more with Coast TV News Today in just a moment.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Hi y'all, it's April from Coast Country, and every Tuesday I get the honor of highlighting an amazing teacher right here on Delmarva with Teacher Feature. If you know a teacher who deserves some extra love, those who go above and beyond every day, head to coastcountry.com and nominate them today. Then tune in each Tuesday to hear their story. Teacher Feature right here every Tuesday at 11 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning and Vernon Powell Shoes.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empowered children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empowered children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
It's now 6:45 on your Monday as we take a live look right now at Laurel. Beautiful sunrise right there. Paul, you don't get to see a lot of these sunrises that we get to experience because you're scheduled normally, so enjoy it.
And don't feel obligated to show me too many more. This is really early in the morning for me.
No, come back anytime.
In fact, I'm actually still asleep right now as we speak. This is me sleepwalking through what's happening with the forecast. No, wonderful, wonderful morning. Hey, it's a good way to kick off the day. We have the inaugural that's going to be kicking off in D.C. We have the MLK celebration. So it's a beautiful way to kick off the week. It's just so cold. 24 degrees, for example, for us in Salisbury. We're at 23, Bethany Beach, 22 in Rehoboth, as well as Milton, and we're holding at 19 degrees as we speak right now in Seaford. Cold weather advisory is in effect for our entire area. Now, this is talking about the wind chill factor falling to 5 degrees or below. That's when we have the cold weather advisory. Now, if that's not enough to catch your attention, we also have a freezing spray advisory that's staying in effect until tonight at 7 o'clock. Now, this is basically near any of the waterways or any of the bridges and stuff like that. And this is actually in effect from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, where you could actually end up getting a coating of ice as a result of any kind of water that falls throughout the area. We also have concerns for a cold weather advisory for Fenwick Island, Ocean City, West Ocean City, Grays Corner, Berlin, Ocean Pines, Campbell, St. Martin, and Selbyville, all of those areas. So we're all under that same concern along with the winds picking up momentum, generally speaking. Our live radar indicating we're very clear for right now, not overly concerned about any precipitation. Now, I mentioned the inaugural day celebration, 23 degrees for us in the D.C. area in case you're headed that way. It's going to feel like 9, so you're going to need to dress in layers. Here's a breakdown of our expectations. We're in the 20s, actually, for this immediate Sussex County area, 28 degrees for the high in Cambridge, and we expect a high of about 30 degrees in Ocean City. But here's what it's going to feel like. The teens in the afternoon, this afternoon, it's going to feel like 17 degrees. Tomorrow morning, how about 3 degrees? That's nice and chilly for you. And if that's not cold enough, we'll serve you up with 1 degree. That's what it's going to feel like tomorrow morning in Seaford. It's going to feel like 2 degrees in Ellendale, Georgetown, Millsboro, and feel like 4 degrees in Selbyville. That's just how chilly it's going to be, which is why we're concerned about the possibility of some frostbite possibilities. You see, frigid air, dangerously cold wind chills, possibly even reaching below 0. With that being the case, we have at least a moderate to high risk of frostbite for Tuesday, but particularly for Wednesday. We'll stay at least a moderate level or chance of frostbite for Thursday and Friday, and we should come out of that by the time we get to Saturday. In fact, when we experience 40 degrees again, it's going to probably feel like a spring day. We're going to all probably start, wearing T-shirts and swim gear by the time we feel 40 degrees following all this cold. But we're going to stay very cloudy for us for Tuesday with a chance of a hint of a possible flurry down the road if this low pressure system swings a little bit closer to us. But we'll keep a watchful eye on it. But I'm not overly concerned about accumulation. I'm more concerned about the cold. Here we go. 27 for this afternoon, sunny skies, and not so cold for this afternoon. But then tonight, we really go to the cellar in 12 degrees. Tuesday, 23 degrees. And then finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling extended forecast. Big time cold Tuesday, big time cold Wednesday, big time cold for Thursday, and big time relief by Saturday and Sunday.
It's a lot of big time, Paul. In their opening round playoff game against the Packers, the Eagles defense created 4 turnovers. The ball-hawking Birds picked off Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love 3 times. Now that type of play expected to be needed again in Sunday's divisional round against the Rams. We go first quarter this one. Jalen Hurts gets the party started right. He gets it started quickly. Hurts down the sideline. 44 yards for the score, and the Birds opened with the lead. Now, after the Rams went up 7-6, here is Saquon Barkley. Paige, just watch this great play by the Penn Stater. 52 yards on a bolt of lightning, 13-7, Eagles. Now, here's the gate play that basically was the game winner. Barkley, look at him go. 205 yards rushing on the day, 2 touchdowns. The Eagles win 28-22. They will host Washington next Sunday in the NFC Championship game. Closing out Sunday night, Ravens attempting to clinch the AFC Championship game, a spot there for a second straight season and a rematch with the Chiefs. Pressure on high here with Washington winning on Saturday. Eagles we just saw winning. This is to keep alive the dream of a Delmarva-themed Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson looking to break out of a postseason slump, I should say, but this didn't start well. Second quarter, can't handle the snap. He fumbles. There's Von Miller with a scoop, and Miller's off. 39 yards the other way. This would set up a touchdown, and the Bills would go up 14-7. 98 seconds to go in the game. Ravens trailing 27-19. Jackson, and how do you do? Isaiah Likely, a 2-point conversion ties the game. And the play is actually there, but Mark Andrews drops the pass. The Bills win 27-25, and they will face the Chiefs for the AFC Championship. The Ravens face another off-season of disappointment on what could have been. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, we have the Salisbury Stakes taking on Arsenal in soccer, and then tune in for a recap of all the action for the final score at 10:30. On the DSN Plus app, you get that soccer match with the Salisbury Stakes at 12:30 today. You can see Sussex Tech go up against Cesar Rodney in boys basketball at 5. We've got more boys basketball. This one's between McCain and Delaware Military Academy.
All right, of course, we have to talk TikTok because it is kind of back online after a weekend outage, but its future still remains uncertain. A law banning it is still in effect, but President-elect Donald Trump says he plans to issue an executive order today to delay that ban. Analysts say technology companies, though, that support TikTok could be taking a risk. The law says that companies that violate the ban face up to a $5,000 fine per user, but Trump's actions around TikTok could also face some court challenges. All right, time is now 6:51 this morning. We are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, a 15-year-old dachshund, get this name, Ellie Belly Apple Pie.
Whoa.
She is a sweetheart with a big bark, and this sweet treat was sent to us by Juliet and Greg in Delmar.
Thank you for sending us that photo. Keep sending us photos of your pets and tell us what makes them so special.
You can scan that QR code at the top of your screen, get your friends to us at Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
All right, our umbrella giveaway winner is Catherine Doyle of Milton. Congratulations. We're taking a look outside right now in Salisbury. Looking pretty nice, looking pretty clear. Doesn't look like it's cold, but it really, really is. We'll talk more about that coming up.
DSN Plus is more energy. Extra live games and on-demand replays anytime, anywhere. DSN Plus is more hype. From playoff matchups in unified football to marching band showcases, we highlight what makes Delmarva unique. DSN Plus is more hometown pride. We go wherever our teams go with up to 5 live games every weeknight. DSN is still free on air and cable, but get even more with DSN Plus, just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app.
Stay tuned
to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com now.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com now.
It is 6:55. It's time now for things you need to know before you go. Today at noon, Donald J. Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. This was actually moved inside the building of the Capitol because of some concerns for the bitter cold conditions. Just yesterday, Trump delivered his first on-camera reaction to things like the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, and he pledged to make good on his campaign promises, including mass deportation.
On Tuesday, Matt Meyer will be sworn in as Delaware's 76th governor. We have events that will be moved indoors due to those cold conditions for inauguration. Meyer will be sworn in Tuesday at Legislative Hall, and then later that night will appear at the inaugural ball at 7 p.m. in Wilmington at the Grand Opera House.
Today, we honor civil rights activist, minister, and Nobel Peace Prize recipient Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. MLK Day, intended as a day of service and a time to empower individuals and strengthen communities. A monument honoring King that you see right there, and his message was dedicated in Washington, D.C. in 2011. It's the first in the National Mall to honor an African-American person. Time is now 6:56, and it's time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out your door.
Paul, I think this is not a bad day to stay inside today.
That sounds like a top of the morning and top suggestion. I mean, we're looking at temperatures in the 20s. As far as the next 12 hours is concerned, we're going to stay in the 20s, but the wind's going to pick up to the point where we're going to feel like the teens for the most part. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by Brockstedt, Medalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Big time cold Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Bundle up, dress in layers. Don't overexpose yourself for a long period of time, particularly Wednesday, because there is the danger of frostbite. That's a real thing for us. We don't usually talk about that here, but it is for the next couple of days in a row.
Alrighty, Paul, thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us here on CoastTV News Today.
Single-digit temperatures.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oof. All right, well, the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
That's right. And don't forget that there is no CoastTV News midday at 11 today. That's because of the presidential inauguration that you can watch right here on CoastTV.
Yeah, and for even more news and coverage you can count on, especially those temperatures, it's a great idea to download the CoastTV Weather app. That'll keep you up to date hour by hour with the changing temperatures. We got a cold one heading for today. Actually, the next couple of days. So until we see you again later tonight for CoastTV News at 5, have a great Monday morning, everybody.